What I went through isn't rare. It's part of a pattern that permeates modern relationships. Emotional burnout has become normalized in ways that many of us don't even notice until it consumes us. We enter relationships with hope, vulnerability, and trust, only to discover that society often expects endurance over well-being. Communication, one of the foundational pillars of intimacy, is treated like a luxury rather than a necessity. Many people grow up without the tools to express needs, negotiate boundaries, or resolve conflict. We are expected to figure it out, to read between the lines, to guess when someone is upset, and to absorb emotional volatility without complaint. Statistics reinforce this reality. Studies indicate that nearly half of young adults report symptoms of anxiety or depression following a significant breakup. Heartbreak is not just an emotional setback. It is a mental health issue that intersects with stress, self-esteem, and overall well-being. Yet most suffer in silence. The stigma around emotional vulnerability exacerbates the problem. Society often frames heartbreak as a personal failure or weakness. We are told to move on quickly, to act composed, to maintain appearances. Expressing grief is sometimes seen as indulgent, as if acknowledging pain indicates inadequacy rather than humanity. Social media intensifies this struggle. Platforms filled with images of happy couples, romantic milestones, and curated relationship success create a pressure to perform emotional stability. People recovering from heartbreak may feel that their pain is invisible or abnormal, deepening feelings of isolation. We glamorize independence while failing to teach emotional boundaries. Young people are told to be self-sufficient, to protect their autonomy, but rarely instructed on how to navigate interdependence in relationships. The balance between closeness and personal space is rarely modeled or discussed. Cultural narratives also play a role. Many societies equate staying together with loyalty, perseverance, or moral strength. Endurance is praised, while walking away, protecting oneself, or prioritizing emotional health is sometimes framed as weakness or failure. This dynamic teaches people to tolerate imbalance in relationships rather than confront it. Modern relationships often involve unspoken expectations. Partners are expected to be emotionally available, but emotional reciprocity is not guaranteed. The imbalance between giving and receiving can create cycles of anxiety over investment and eventual burnout. Many people accept these patterns because deviation from them feels socially risky. Technology amplifies miscommunication. Constant connectivity, instant messaging, and social media monitoring can make small lapses feel magnified. Silence or delayed responses are interpreted as rejection. Emotional inconsistency becomes unbearable when digital reminders are everywhere, prolonging grief and stress. Attachment patterns influence how heartbreak unfolds. People with anxious attachment often overinvest, fearing abandonment, while avoidant partners may withdraw. These mismatched dynamics create patterns of pursuit and retreat, highs and lows, that feel like love but are actually emotionally exhausting. My story reflects this broader reality. Economic instability adds another layer. Many young adults face financial uncertainty, unstable employment, or reliance on family support, which can make leaving a draining or unhealthy relationship difficult. Dependence, whether emotional, financial, or social, traps people in cycles of endurance. Emotional labor, the often invisible work of maintaining relationships, is disproportionately expected of women. Sending reminders, managing moods, mediating conflicts, and creating shared experiences are essential for connection, yet frequently go unrecognized. One-sided emotional labor contributes directly to burnout and eventual heartbreak. The myth of romance perpetuates suffering. We are told that love conquers all, that devotion is proven through sacrifice, and that patience equals loyalty. These messages normalize enduring hardship in ways that obscure the difference between love and exploitation. Many of us learn to tolerate imbalance because culture tells us it is noble. Heartbreak is compounded by social comparison. Seeing others' seemingly perfect relationships online or hearing about peers' romantic successes intensifies feelings of inadequacy. People recovering from loss often feel pressure to rebound quickly, appear functional, and meet societal expectations of composure. Gendered dynamics exacerbate vulnerability. Women are often expected to absorb emotional labor, tolerate withdrawal, and maintain patience, while men may be socially permitted inconsistency or detachment. These cultural norms reinforce cycles of imbalance that make heartbreak almost inevitable in certain dynamics. Modern dating culture creates unique challenges. Casual relationships, online dating, and short-term connections encourage rapid attachment without fostering emotional literacy. People invest deeply without having the tools to communicate effectively, manage expectations, or cope with loss, increasing the likelihood of burnout. The digital footprint of relationships complicates recovery. Messages, photos, and posts serve as constant reminders of absence. Unlike previous generations, we cannot simply move on. We are tethered to the past through screens that reinforce emotional attachment. Mental health support for heartbreak is limited and unevenly applied. Therapy is often inaccessible due to cost, stigma, or lack of awareness. Emotional injury from romantic loss is rarely addressed in schools, workplaces, or family structures, leaving many to navigate grief alone. The cultural discomfort with vulnerability amplifies isolation. Admitting emotional fragility is sometimes equated with weakness, while suppressing feelings is praised as resilience. I experienced this firsthand, concealing pain from those around me, while it silently consumed my energy and self-esteem. Heartbreak intersects with identity. When a relationship ends, it challenges self-concept, worth, and emotional capacity. People often question their attractiveness, desirability, and ability to love, compounding grief with existential doubt. Recovery requires rebuilding not just a life, but a sense of self. Social networks can offer support, but isolation is common. Friends may not know what to say, family may be distant, and societal expectations discourage prolonged mourning. This leaves many people grappling with grief and solitude, which can exacerbate anxiety and depression. Economic and professional consequences follow heartbreak as well. Anxiety, distraction, and emotional fatigue affect focus and productivity. For many, heartbreak is not just emotional, it impacts every aspect of life, from career trajectories to social engagement. The glorification of romantic struggle contributes to unhealthy expectations. Media often celebrates relationships that endure chaos or forgive repeated neglect, sending subtle messages that suffering is a measure of devotion. These narratives normalize enduring emotional harm, making recovery more difficult. Understanding attachment dynamics is crucial. Anxious avoidance cycles, emotional inconsistency, and unmet needs create repetitive patterns that feel like love, but are actually unsustainable. Awareness of these patterns can prevent future heartbreak and promote healthier relational choices. Cultural pressures to perform emotional resilience add complexity. People are often expected to rebound quickly, appear strong, and maintain routine. Society rarely provides space to process grief at its natural pace, imposing timelines that conflict with the reality of emotional healing. Heartbreak is often invisible labor. The private work of reflection, journaling, therapy, and self-rebuilding is rarely acknowledged, yet it is essential. Emotional recovery is a process that requires support, patience, and resources often unavailable in contemporary social structures. Despite the challenges, heartbreak can be a catalyst for growth. Emotional injury forces introspection, boundary setting, and self-awareness. It highlights patterns, vulnerabilities, and unmet needs, offering opportunities for conscious relational choices in the future. Recognizing the social dimensions of heartbreak reframes the experience. Loss is not only personal, it reflects systemic patterns, cultural expectations, and relational dynamics that affect countless others. Understanding this universality reduces shame and validates personal grief. Modern heartbreak is a negotiation between personal vulnerability and societal influence. Emotional pain is compounded by technology, social comparison, gender norms, and cultural messaging. Awareness of these forces allows individuals to approach recovery with compassion for themselves. Finally, understanding the realities of modern heartbreak illuminates a path forward. Healing is not simply a personal endeavor, it is a navigation of social pressures, emotional labor, and cultural expectations. My story is one of many, a lens through which to view love, loss, and resilience in contemporary life.